Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janet Evelyn, and I'm the executive director, should be founder and executive director for the Norwalk International Cultural Exchange, also known as NICE. And I want to thank you all for being here this afternoon. We're very excited about doing this program and bringing you this engagement from members from the Maasai tribe in Kenya. We also want to thank the Norwalk Public Library and Sherelle Harris and her team that have helped us to coordinate this event, help us to get everyone registered for this event, and allowed us to have this opportunity to have this presentation here in this room. Okay, I have to put my glasses on. All right, so I also have a few board members in the room that I want to thank for being here. I have Kimberly Klein. You may know that the Norwalk International Cultural Exchange was established in 2015, so we're now 9 years in the making. And Kimberly has been a part of the team since then. So has my good friend Julio Pardo, who helps us with our creative direction and is also part of our board members. We also have Byron, and Byron is our videographer, and he's going to be, doing his special effects and taking some images and videos this afternoon. So the Norwalk International Cultural Exchange stages the annual NICE program in Norwalk. Our program celebrates our global heritage and is focused on bringing awareness to indigenous cultures and folk and traditional customs. Because of the work in bringing awareness to the diversity of people from around the world, we work with groups and organizations that are steeped in the preservation and cultivation of their traditional heritage. It is through these collaborations that we're able to provide these cultural enrichment programs to our youths and our community at large. So, as part of our education enrichment program, which we also do in addition to our annual signature event, the NICE Festival, and if you haven't been to the NICE Festival, you're really, really missing a treat to engage and experience many different cultures and their art forms. So this presentation is a part of, so here we're proud to bring you the story of the Maasai, and this presentation is a part of their national tour and is made possible through our collaboration with their Connecticut ambassador, who's here with us today, Miss Virginia Armstrong. So Virginia, yes, please come up. And I'd also like to invite Sherelle to say a few words to the group and about the program and helping us coordinate and put this all together. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Norwalk Public Library, South Norwalk branch. We're very happy to have you here. I am so excited to work with Janet. Janet is one of those powerhouses. She does a lot of work to celebrate the different cultures here in Norwalk. And she's one of those people that just is very quiet and very humble. Not look at me, but just here doing the work. So I think we should give her a round. Well, I don't have anything else to add other than enjoy.
So before I turn the mic over to Ms. Ginny over here, I also want to say that we have some snacks, water, And so please help yourself. It's free. You don't have to pay any money. But if you'd like to donate to our organization, there's a box over there that you can slip a few dollars in. So we also have one of the things that, in addition to the program that Ginny and the Maasai group is going to provide, is they brought a sample of traditional dishes that they have. So please, they're going to go through a presentation, and please stay on so that after this first round, you'll be able to get to learn about their foods, what they eat, and have a sample of some of their dishes. So now I'm going to turn it over to Jenny, and she's going to tell you about today and some challenges that we had today, but we're here to have a wonderful time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Janet. So before I start, I'd like to thank the South Norwalk Library for having us, and a great big thank you to NICE. It's a fabulous organization. I'm so proud to be connected with them. And as you've already heard and probably already know, Janet is a powerhouse. She is, what would we call her in Maasai? I don't know. Is she a warrior? She'll fight for her programs, and she's amazing. She's amazing. I admired her from the first time we started corresponding in bringing this program to you. She was relentless in getting everything squared away for this program to share. Very grateful for that. There were a few bumps along the road, but I'll tell you about those in just a sec. Okay, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Virginia Armstrong, or Ginny Armstrong, and I represent my very good friends, the Maasai. They have been coming to the U.S. for a number of years now, I would say about a dozen. They travel throughout the country, and while they're traveling, they speak at schools, libraries, museums, clubs, sometimes one of my favorite little women's groups, you know, we kind of complain together. So it's my pleasure to represent them and help connect them with venues in Connecticut and New York, and possibly Rhode Island next year. So hopefully you've had a little time to see the slideshow that's running in the back. You can get a little flavor of what the Maasai life and terrain is like. I would like to tell you something though about the chief. We were supposed to have 3 presenters here today, including the chief, Chief JOSEPH OLE TIPANKO, the chief of the tribe of about 7,000 Maasai people in the village. The chief is a very important man. Let me say that all 3 of our presenters leave their families and their responsibilities at home every year. They all have little kids as well as big kids. They leave their babies, and it's quite a sacrifice for them to be here. The chief, unlike our president, does not run the government. He is a liaison between the government and the tribal elders. So he got a call, and I think it was yesterday morning, but I'm not sure exactly when the timing was. I'm a little jet lagged myself. He got a phone call saying that the Kenyan government was requesting his presence at a meeting concerning boundaries, land boundaries. So he had to immediately book a flight from JFK. It's about, 20-hour flight, you know, when you figure a layover in Amsterdam or Paris. So he had to go back to meet with his people so he could represent them the following day with the Kenyan government. And I think he's probably landing about now, right? Landing about now. So our apologies to all of you that the chief is not here, but believe me, you'll hear about him, and you will be pleasantly surprised, I think, with the program today. So I guess that's about all that I need to tell you right now. If you want to get in touch with me ever, my website is easy to remember. It's leavingfootprints.org, leavingfootprints.org. And you could always get in touch with me about either questions or a booking or wanting to meet the Maasai or getting more information or making a donation. We have scholarships available for kids and all sorts of things, but I don't want to take any more of their time. So, all right, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce John Ole Parsito of the Maasai tribe, East Africa, Kenya. John is a community social worker, and as the chief likes to refer to him, his right-hand man. Okay, so you go put your hands together. Oh, a nice hand clap for John.
Thank you so much, Ginny. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you very much. As I have been introduced by Ginny, my name is John Parsito, and back at home, I am a community social worker. I work in liaison with the chief and the local community leadership to see into that all goes well in our local community. In our way of life, or in my culture, whenever you meet a group of people seated together, the first thing that you do is you pass greetings. And passing greetings in Maasai language, when I say sopa, you respond by saying epa or volunteer. So that is one way the young children show respect to the seniors whenever they meet. When you talk about a Maasai, you are talking about an indigenous person coming from East Africa. I talk of an indigenous person because the Maasai still live their traditional way of life and still live in their own territorial lands. They are still practicing their culture, even if we have now other communities coming together to live with us, even if education is also eating part of our culture and as well as religion. But as a community, we have always been trying our best to make sure that we keep the best part of our culture. So I talk of Maasai as a tribe that comes from East Africa. The reason as to why the Maasai live in, I talk of Maasai living in East Africa is because they live in two countries. They live in the southern part of Kenya, where I come from, and the northern part of Tanzania. The reason as to why the Maasai live in the two countries is because during the scramble for Africa by our colonial masters, it happened that the boundary between Kenya and Tanzania was marked along the Maasai territory. And because as a community we do not identify with the territorial boundary, we continued living in our own ancestral lands. So to us, the boundary is pencil marked and is meant to serve the interests of our colonial masters and not the Maasai as a community. So whenever the Maasai of Kenya wants to move to Tanzania, or the Maasai of Tanzania wants to move to Kenya, we just cross the border without seeking immigration authority, because we believe we are living in our own lands and we have the rights to walk to whichever part of the of lands we want. As a community, we speak one traditional language, and the traditional language for the Maasai is called Maa. So the Maasai are the people, and the native language is called Maa. The reason as to why I'm able to speak English is because I had an opportunity to go to school, and at school, English is the language of instruction. So that is how I got to learn English. It's because I went to school. For those who have not had an opportunity to go to school, they hardly or not at all speak English, but only speak Maa language. As a community, we teach our children, or we pass knowledge from one generation to another through an informal way of learning. So you don't have to go to school in order for you to learn about the tradition, the cultures, or the Maasai way of life. This is passed through stories, through songs, through observation, and through practice. So we do not at all conduct any formal classes for our children to learn our way of life. Again, as a community, we have our own traditional leadership structure. The leadership structure of the Maasai is under the Council of Elders. The Council of Elders is always made up of men and women who are believed to be wise, who are believed to be just, people who are generous, and people who are always in a position to offer reconciliation services whenever there is need for reconciliation within the community. These are people who command a lot of respect in the community. And that is why the chief had to leave yesterday, because he is part of the Council of Elders and his services are required by the community as a representative of the community, or someone who lies between the central government and the local community leadership. So the Council of Elders is the supreme organ in the community. They're the ones who make decisions on what need to be done by who, when, and how. And the decision by the Council of Elders is just like a presidential decree, and no one is going to go against. So the Council of Elders is a very, very important organ in the Maasai community. As a community, we have our roles or duties defined along gender lines, and we have duties or roles that are mainly for women, and also have roles and duties that are only meant for men. And as a man, I am not supposed to play any role for a woman, and women are not supposed to play roles for men. Again, as a community, we have our own traditional belief system. And the Maasai believe on a supreme God called Enkai, whom they believe live in the sky, where the Maasai believe they came from with all the livestock. Because as a community, we believe that all the livestock, I mean the cows in the world, including the cows here in America, but we do not know how they got here, they belong to the Maasai. It is something we are still trying to find out, how they got here, but the cows are a gift to the Maasai by God, and they all belong to us. The main food for the Maasai is meat, milk, blood, and herbs from the livestock. We have a very, very strict diet as a community, and we do not eat wild game or wild meat. We only eat meat from the livestock. We have a very strict diet such that we do not even eat meat from animals with a solid hoof, like a donkey, like a horse. We only eat meat from animals with split hoofs, like cows, sheep, and goats. Animals with claws we don't eat because we believe they belong to the cat family, or birds like the chicken, like the turkey, we don't eat. So we have a very, very strict feeding habit as a community. The community have a lot of respect to nature and environment, and we consider the forests, the hills, as sacred places. And that is where the Maasai go to worship their God. The worship is in form of offering sacrifice by slaughtering a sheep as a way to appease their God, asking for forgiveness in case there is drought, deaths in the community, or when women are not getting children, or whenever there are war with other communities. They go to the forest to offer sacrifices as a way of asking for forgiveness, asking for the rain, and asking that God may see them through hard times. So the forests and hills are considered to be places of worship or sacred places. The Maasai are pastoralists or nomads as they move from one place to another. This is searching green grass and water for their livestock, because the livestock is the main source of livelihood in the community. Maasai art is in form of songs, in form of jewelry, in form of dress, and is also in form of the language that they teach their children, like poems, like time twisters, or local stories that they use to teach them about the environment, the poisonous fruits, the edible fruits, the stories about the wild animals, the poisonous snakes, because that is what they use to teach their children. Maasai art is also in form of the beads that you see we are having, like the jewelry here. This is purely handmade by our women, and these are Maasai colors, and all the Maasai colors have a meaning. The color yellow for the Maasai stands for warmth and beauty. The color red stands for blood and courage. The color white stands for milk and peace. The color blue stands for the sky where the Maasai believe they came from. The color green stands for green grass and vegetation for our livestock. And the color black stands for the color of the skin. The color orange stands for sunrise and sunset. So those are the different meanings of Maasai colors. My question to the young ones: what did I say the color white stand for? No chorus answers. I want you to raise your hand. What does the color white stand for? Milk. Milk and peace. Let's clap for him. Come, I give you a gift for answering my question. This is a gift for you for answering my question. Correct. Oh. Somewhere here. Can we have another bracelet, please? So the color white stands for milk and peace. What does the color green stands for? The color green, yes. Let's clap for him for answering the question. It's green grass and vegetation for the livestock. What does the color yellow stand for? Yellow. color yellow. Yes.
I'm right on something.
Really? Yes? Let's clap for her. It's warmth and beauty. Thank you very much for that very interactive session. So, all the colors have a meaning in my culture. Just to continue a little before I give to Cecilia. As a community, we place a lot of respect, love, and unity. And love is expressed in form of sharing in the community. This is sharing, like sharing food in the community, sharing grazing grounds for our livestock, sharing of water for the livestock, and sharing also the salt licks for the livestock. Sharing means all the grazing grounds, all the watering points, and salt licks belong to the community. So it is never owned by an individual. Also traditionally, one is not supposed to eat food alone. You should always be having a neighbor. You should always be having a friend or even a stranger to share a meal with. The reason being, so that maybe if your immediate neighbor is not able to buy food or to afford food, and you have food at your household, it is always supposed that you share with those who do not have. We also have people born with disability. They could not be in a position to go and work to get food. So you are supposed to share with them so that they may not stay hungry in the community. So the spirit of sharing in our community is one moral that we are supposed to instill to our children. Again, we also have what we call the instruments of peace. These instruments of peace in the Maasai community include the green grass, milk, honey, and cowrie shell. Those are instruments of peace. We have sacred instruments or people in the Maasai community. The women, the children, and cows are sacred. Even the children, women, and livestock from the enemy are considered sacred, whereby you are not supposed to kill, even if you are fighting with a different community. Those three, the women, the children, and cows, they belong to the community, and they command a lot of respect. That you should never come in conflict with the three. But always, you are supposed to protect women, children, and even cows that belongs to the enemy. So that we will continue from there. I want to teach you a Maasai poem, so that I can also give to Cecilia to continue from there. And I want you to sing after me. Ahe,
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 oyo,
oyo,
ahe oyayo,
ahe,
olaleyo,
olaleyo,
ahe,
ahe,
oyo,
oyo,
ahe oyayo,
ahe,
olaleyo.
olaleyo.
Thank you very much. I'm going to Cecilia to continue from that.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening again.
Good evening.
Okay, thank you. We need to be lovely. So thank you so much. My name is Cecilia. I came from East Africa, Kenya, Maasai community, Maasai tribe. And I'm very happy to be here to share with you about my culture and the role of a woman in my community or in my village. The role of a woman in Maasai village, the women do a lot of work, and it is 85% the women do. And in my community, the women is the one who build house. When you see on the screen, in my community there's no big building or big houses, it is small. And I see here there is a taller building. And in my community, the women is the one who build the house, and it's not a big house, it is a self-contained. That's a small house with 2 beds, one for the kids, one for the parent. When my first time to come here, I see in my host family, they has a big house, many rooms, and even toilet inside the house. In my community, it's a self-contained. The women go to the bush, bring wood, then collecting cow poo, clay, ash, and mix together. And mix together, we don't have any machine. We use our own hand to make a very beautiful self-contained house to our family. And because we don't have electricity, I must go to collect firewood. That's for lightening the house, cooking, and warm. Because we don't have electricity there. I see here people using gas, electricity to cook. We don't have something like that. It's like a history for us. And in my community, we fetch water. People, you are so lucky because every corner in the house or every corner in the building, there is water, and it is a clean water. In my community, there is no water. I am walking 4 miles to 6 miles to carry 20 gallons in my bag. And it is not a clean water. We are sharing water with wild animals like giraffes, elephants, even baboons. And then when I carry the water, it's for washing, cooking, and bath. And sometimes I don't take bath because the long distance I'm walking is hard to me, but I must walk daily to carry water for my family. And in my community, the women is the one make our men beautiful. When you see they have jewelry, that's the work of the women. And I tell you, 85% of the work in the family is the women doing through our own hand. So this is all hand making. We don't use machine, we don't use anything, we use our knowledge. We came together, we are socialized together. The women come together as a community, we sit together, we talk, give up the stories, and to make the video, because many percent of my community women does not go to school. So this is our daily work. When I wake up, I fetch water for 4 miles to 6 miles, then I bring home, I cook, I do cleaning. So then I sit down with the women. Then we interact together, put the story together, then we make our beautiful things from the video. This is all our hand making. So if you see the pattern, the women does not go to school. So they sit down. Maybe someone see a cow with a very good color. Then she said, I see something. So they make something like this. And this one, we learned a lot because this is a tiny glass bead. When you want to do something like this, first, you need to be very patient because the glass beads are too small and too tight, so you need to be very patient. Secondly, you need to be very careful because when you pour the beads on the ground, they take you more than a day to collect because you must collect one by one. And thirdly, you need to be very focused for what you want to make. Even in your life, even in your job or the students who are in school, you must be very focused and patient and to be very careful for your life. So we learn a lot through our beadwork. Then through our beadwork, to make beadwork, you make your life to be very joyful, to be very lovely, and to interact for the people and sit together and make more friends, because we are coming together as a community and make something good. In my country, we have 42 tribes, and every tribe has our own language. And to communicate for those 42 tribes, or to understand for those 42 tribes, we have our national language called Swahili. Swahili is a trade language to communicate or to understand for those 42 tribes in my country. And before my kids go to school, I am a mother, I take my role to teach how to count, or to taught how to count number 1 to number 10 in Ma language, my native language, called Ma. Before they go to school, the teachers taught how to speak English, or to write, or to learn other subjects in the class. So in my community, before my kids go to school, I take my chance or my role as a mother to teach how to speak Ma, my native language, through riddles, stories, and counting. So for right now, I like to share with you how to count number 1 to number 10 in 2 languages. 1, my native language, Maasai language. Secondly, my national language, to communicate for those 42 tribes in my country. So everyone do like this. Everybody. Nabo, nabo,
Nabo,
are,
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 uni,
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 onwan,
owa,
onwan,
owa,
image,
imet,
image,
imet,
ele,
ile,
ele,
ile,
napshana,
nashana,
napshana,
nashana,
iset,
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 naudo,
nado,
naudo,
nado,
tomon,
tomon,
tomon.
tomon.
That's how to count number 1 to number 10 in my native language. Our national language, everyone, moja,
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 mbili,
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 tatu,
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 ine,
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 tano,
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 sita,
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 saba,
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 nane,
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 tisa,
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 kumi,
kumi,
kumi.
kumi.
That's how to count number 1 to number 10 in Swahili language, my national language. Everyone in English?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Thank you. That's how to count number 1 to number 10 in my Ma language, my native language, or my national language. Back at home, we are trying our level best for educate our kids, especially young girls. Because in my community, we have bad practical, female genital cutting, and a child girl married. I don't want to talk more about female genital cutting because of the young kids. So in my community, we have that bad practical. So me and my husband, and I want to give an apology because he's traveled last night?
He just landed.
He's just landed right now in Kenya. So I get this opportunity to say sorry because she get a phone from our country, so he must go because of activity in my community. So me and my husband, I am a chief wife. So I am proud to be a chief wife. So me and my husband and John, we are trying our level best and other people in my community, elders for the community, to make sure the girl has a voice in my community. Because in Maasai or in my culture, they value two things. One, cow, and second, a boy child. So they value those two things. So they take a child, a girl or a woman as an asset to use they can send a girl or send a girl to marry for a man with 46 and a girl with 9 years. So that one is too bad. So we are trying our level best how we can stop that one. And for right now, we have almost 60 girls we serve. And our aim to be here or to go around to the state, to other states, to raise money for the girl child education. Even when you see the jewelry there, the women come together so they can raise money through selling the beads for get education for the girl. And for now, we have a building going on to build a safe house for those 60 girls to save them at girl child married or female genital cutting. So our aim to be here to raise money to my community for education for the girl. And I go to give John again to speak a little bit again about our culture. Then after that I talk about food because we are trying in my host family, we cook a little, it's easier food for our culture. So don't go without taste how the Africa food or Maasai food tastes. So you are so welcome and be free, anyone with a question, be free to ask, and we are so happy to be here and we are not to take for granted. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Cecilia, for that very interactive session. And thank you for your very good participation. She has requested maybe also to talk more a little about our way of life. And when you talk about a people's way of life, what do you make of it? Or what is a people's way of life? How can one describe one's way of life? One way of life can be expressed by the kind of dressing, the food you eat, the economic activities that one does. So in our understanding, that is how our way of life can be defined. As you can see, this is our way we dress back at home. This is because we dress not with light clothes, because in Kenya we live along the equator. And what's the equator? No, corazones. You know we are in class. What's the equator?
Center of the earth.
Yes, let's clap for him. At school we were taught that equator is an imaginary line that are cut across the globe. So we dress in light clothes because our weather is warm throughout the year. How many seasons do you have here in the US? How many seasons? Can you tell me the seasons you have? Yes?
Winter, spring, summer, fall.
Is that true? Okay, let's clap for her. So, our weather it is warm throughout the year. We only have the cold or the wet season and the dry season. The dry season is the period whereby we have stayed for a long time without rain. And the wet season or the rainy season is normally the period between March and June. That is normally the period when we expect rains to come in the community. So dressing makes part of our culture. We love our dressing. We love the color red, which is associated with courage and blood. So we associate because we eat blood as food, and courage is always a virtue that we embrace in the community, that courageous people always fight to see the other day. So it gives us the energy, the spirit to fight for another day. This one is our chief gown. Can I have 2 volunteers to hold for me, please? Please. The two ladies. Yeah? So this is the chief's gown or a robe. It is made from a white and black Columbus monkey and a baboon. So the top is a white and black Columbus monkey and a baboon skin. This is very, very special, and it is only worn by chiefs and council of elders members. So we are just having it here because the chief left, and he left without taking it back to Kenya. But we are not supposed to put on this one. That is why we are only supposed to hold. But no one among the delegation is allowed to put on this one, because he was given this one by the elders. They blessed and dressed him with it, which is a sign of power and authority in the community. Thank you very much. This is a shield. It is made from a wildebeest skin and was painted by elders in the community. A shield in the Maasai community is very important because it is used for dancing, and also it is used during war and also during the lion hunt. This one is basically used for dancing, and that is why it is painted black, white, and red, because it is mainly used for dancing. The ones that are used for hunting or for war are all painted red. So this one is used mainly for dancing or in having traditional ceremonies. Our instruments for music, we do not have guitars, we do not have drum sets, we do not have pianos, but we only have our ornaments for dancing, which includes bells that we tie on the thighs. We also have a horn that can be used to blow as an instrument for music. So our music is different types of music we have in the community. We have the lullaby songs for the children. We have songs for ceremonies, like the wedding ceremonies, like the initiation ceremonies. And we also have songs for war. Songs for war are meant to induce emotions to the warriors. And they also sung only by Maasai warriors. War songs are not supposed to be sung by women because they will charge everyone in the community to go to the war. And normally, not everyone is supposed to go to the war apart from the warriors who are the community defense system or the community military. As a community, we also have Maasai art. As I had told you, this art is in form of making the jewelry. All the jewelry you see with Cecilia and the ones up there are all handmade. The different designs of the jewelry that the women make is collected from the local environment. They can choose different types of leaves and make ornaments and patterns related to the type of leaves, the color of the environment, the color of the livestock, the color of the sky, the snow on the hills. So they are able to make patterns and colors of the ornaments by collecting colors and designs from the local environment. Again, as a community, we have the rites of passage. The rites of passage include child naming, which is always a ceremony conducted by women and children, whereby the women come together, dine, make wine from local brews and honey, and they give a child a name related to someone who has been very successful in the community, someone who is respected in the community, and someone who is believed to be free from blemish. From child naming, we go to boyhood and girlhood, the period whereby the boys and girls are being introduced to their roles in the society. From boyhood and girlhood, we go to boys' initiation, an activity done very early in the morning by elders. They put goats dropping between your toes, and in case you move your leg and the goats droppings fall down, you are considered a coward. But if you stand brave and no dropping of the goats dropping don't fall down, then your father will give to the community bulls to celebrate and rejoice for having successfully faced the life. After initiation, you go to become a junior elder, you go to become a warrior. This is the period between the 18, 16, and 17 years, when the boys are being sent to go and hunt a lion. And hunting a lion in the Maasai community is considered a sporting activity, whereby men just go with spears, swords, and a shield to kill a lion. And back at home, we don't have guns. And we believe in our community the guns only belong to the coward, and no Maasai owns a gun. We only own spears and swords. So that is what we used to go and hunt a lion. The warrior who will have successfully killed the lion will come home with a lion mane as a crown. And the girls in the village will compose songs of praise, and it is an opportunity for you to earn more girlfriends for having successfully hunted a lion. After hunting a lion, you now graduate to become a junior elder, the period when you are supposed to marry and get children. And marriage in the Maasai community is considered a sacred institution. It commands a lot of respect. And it is the parents who choose for you a wife or a husband. The reason being, they do not want you to marry from a family that you are related with in one way or another. And they do not also want you to marry a girl who might be coming from a family that has been cast in the community, or a family that might have committed murder in the community. So they always do a background check of the girl or the son before they allow you to marry. So I might see a beautiful lady, go to my father, tells him I want to marry her, but he will be the final decision maker if I will marry her or no. If he says no, I'll get an opportunity to go back and to the market. Trying to see what, I will be another potential candidate in another family to get another girl until he approves that you have now got a girl from the right family. Because, and upon getting a girl, it is your father and your uncles who will go to negotiate for you, the girl. Because in our culture, we pay dowry as a token of appreciation for the family for having taken care of the girl since childhood. And dowry is in form of livestock. Sometimes you pay 5 cows in order for you to marry your wife. 5 cows, blankets, and honey to the family. What do you give out here in form of dowry when you want to get married? What did you pay? Really? What did you pay? Nothing. Oh my God. So women here, you are given for free? In Maasai culture, you must pay cows as an appreciation to the family for having taken care of the girls. So I think the ladies' families should demand cows from the men here for having taken care of you when you were young. So that is how we do our marriages in the Maasai community. Normally, when you kill in the Maasai community, you are supposed to be cleansed, because killing is not embraced and it is believed to be very ungodly. So if you kill someone, even by just by accident, even manslaughter, you are supposed to pay 149 sheep for you to be cleansed by the elders to the family of the dead, or 49 cows. And the reason as to why the number 9 is significant is because you are closing the 9 holes in the human body. That's the 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the nose, the mouth. Then at home you can ask your partner, who are you? So that is why the number 9 is very significant in paying for the compensation of the dead. And by paying so, the elders will cleanse you, and now you will be considered as someone who is now free from the mesh. We also have a very important rite of passage in the Maasai community. It is called the Bull of Wounds, which is mainly done by men. You invite the whole community, you slaughter a bull, and you have the elders come and bless you as you feed the entire community as a way of surrendering, asking for forgiveness from the women, from the men, from the children, if you ever made them unhappy or you hurted them in one way or another. So you are supposed to surrender by feeding them and asking for forgiveness. Just say sorry, and the elders bless you as they usher you into the council of elders. As Cecilia has told you, back at home, we have embarked on a project of saving our girls from early child marriage and female genital cutting. So also going around the country, we are raising resources so that we can put those girls in school. We are raising the money through the sale of jewelry, through donations, and what different support we are getting from individuals by sponsoring a girl to get an education back in Kenya. I am going to give Cecilia so that maybe we can continue from there, and we want at least 2 volunteers, a man and a lady, so that we can show you how we dress our children back at home. And thank you very much for being a very good audience. And we have 2 volunteers. Are you volunteering, sister? Yeah? Can we have 1 man to volunteer? 1 gentleman to volunteer for us? Oh, yes, thank you. Just clap for them. how we dress back at home. This is a Maasai blanket for men, shield for men, women own shields. And this is a necklace. It is used for dancing, and this is just a shawl for the women. All this jewelry are made by women, and they are all handmade.
Thank you.
Why don't we give Cecilia just a couple-minute break while I get some more food out, and then she's going to talk to all of us about diet, about food, about cooking.
Okay, for this time, we want to take a time for question for the first section. So, anybody with a question?
What is the significance of the jump?
The significance of the jump is just part of the dancing style or the rhythm. It's just part of the rhythm. Yes.
I've seen your soccer players do it on the field.
Yeah?
Yes.
So it is also very important because it's also it's like also like a sporting activity. Even jumping is also considered as a sporting activity.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes?
So what was that song?
This is just, the song is just about thanking God for the gift of life, for us coming together, for the provision, for the good health, and for the love. Any other questions? Yes. It has been, I have always been practice. I've always been jumping in the community whenever there are dances, so, and it's also fun to jump. Yes.
Will the sponsoring of the girls keep them from doing parents?
Yes. You know, when we give girls an education, it's like we are giving them an opportunity against early child marriage. And we believe education is an equalizer. And because sometimes the families marry them off so that they can trade for livestock, the girls should get an education and come to buy the livestock to their father. And then that tells the family education is also important. And even other young children will be given an opportunity. Now that the girl who went to school is also now able to buy for the family the house that the family wanted to trade her for or against. Yes.
Are the Maasai allowed to marry in other tribes, or they must stay within Maasai tribe?
We have always been trying to marry within the community to avoid conflict of cultures. But now with education in the community, our children have also become global. They go everywhere, and you just find them bringing a wife to you, and you have no option but just to adopt that person and consider as a Maasai. So when you get married from the Maasai community, they always adopt you, assimilate you, and make you work them. The first thing that they do when you get married to a Maasai is they give you a Maasai name. Upon giving you a Maasai name, they make you go their own traditional wedding ceremony, which means you are now completely getting adopted to the family or to the community. So we are now having our young men marrying from outside our community. But we adopt the lady that is married to make one of our own. Also, as I have earlier told you, marriage is considered to be a very sacred institution. Divorce is hardly heard in the Maasai community. And in case we have a problem with my wife, my parents come in to intervene to make sure that it is resolved. If my parents are not able to come in, my best men, my best couple will come in. If they are not able to intervene, my age group will come in. And if the age group is not able, then they will sit now and see who is the problem maker. Is it the wife or the husband? If it is the husband, then you are told to leave and the wife stays at home. And your parents, the brothers-in-laws, will take care of their wife and the children until the point or the day that you will come to surrender and go their way. So marriages in the Maasai community, even on day one, you are being told 200 people or 500 people have come to witness your wedding. When it is time to divorce, you call the 500 to tell them that you are divorcing. So you see how hard it is now for you to go and call the 500 people to tell them, now because you witnessed my wedding, I want now you to come and witness my divorce. So it becomes so hard for you to do something like that. So that is how it is when it comes to marriage in the community.
You mentioned that milk, meat, and blood is a part of your diet. How do you consume the blood? And
How we consume blood is, or we drink blood, is we can mix blood with milk and herbs and drink it. Or we can just get from the vein of a goat and drink it as warm as possible, direct from the vein. And it is very nutritious and delicious. Oh, I miss blood. So we mix it with the herbs and the milk, and it is also made for sustenance. And it is also used for vaccination or to build the immunity among the community members. Yes. We also believe it's a source of iron, and we always give to women who have just got new babies. And even the young infants in the community whom we believe they have spilled blood while they were going through the initiation.
Is it always the blood of the goats, or is it cows too?
Both. We take from the, we don't have to kill a cow to get blood. We just hold, strike the vein, the jugular vein, get blood, put some herbs, and stop bleeding. The cow goes to graze. And after 1 month, you get another blood again from the cow. Yes. Yes?
when we had COVID nationwide, all over the world, did this touch you from you?
Yes, because of now traveling also to urban areas and our children going to colleges and university and mingling with other people. And COVID was also experienced in our villages. And how we are addressing COVID cases is we know some plants that we could go to the forest, get leaves, get roots, come and boil, steam, and you have to inhale, because we knew that it was a respiratory problem and that was easily available in the community. So we were using our local medicinal knowledge to treat COVID in our community, and there were minimal cases that went beyond the local treatment. So from the local forest, we could get the herbs, the leaves, the roots and barks of the tree, boil, and you just get steamed, and the problem solved. So they must have a lot of traditional knowledge when it comes to medicinal care. Just in the woods, they know which is for stomachache, which one is for malaria, which one. So they have their own system. People who are traditional herbalists within the community. Yes.
How much wife is supposed to have?
Traditionally, you are supposed to marry as many wives as possible. We have some elders with 12 wives. We have 2, 3, 4, but I'm only married to one. There is room for me to marry more, but I don't think I'm in a position now. The Americans have showed me to go their way. Yes?
When the women go to collect the water on a daily basis, do they count the wild animals regularly? Is it
Yes.
how do they measure?
We are a community that has always been living in harmony with the wild animals. And the wild animals form part of our environment. So in the morning when we wake up, you always see giraffes in your backyard, zebras in your backyard, and hyenas just more at night, the baboons come to snatch the goats' kids. So we have always been living in harmony with wild animals. And we believe that in case you are killed by wild animals, then it is believed that you are cursed. So it is one way that you are getting eliminated in the community for having been not a good person, for having been not a good person in the community. So we also teach our children how to avoid coming in conflict with the wild animals at a tender age, how to avoid coming in conflict with elephants, with lions, with different types of animals. So thank you so much for listening. I think it is now time to go to the next session, whereby I am going to hand over to Cecilia.
Okay, thank you so much. For this time, I'd like to go to talk about food
Can I sit here?
in my community.
Can you see the slides?
Let me stand here. I think when we talk about food, already John told us the food for the Maasai is milk and blood and meat. And in Maasai, the men, we are not allowed the men to go to the kitchen, because when the Maasai men go to the kitchen, they destroy everything, because they see maybe there's a lion there behind. So we don't allow the men to go to the kitchen. You see the women, the one cooking, and we have main food. In Africa or in Kenya, we call ugali. Ugali is a main food for Africa, even to Maasai people. Because even I not making ugali, I cooking porridge. And I see here there is so many ways to make porridge. And we don't have heavy breakfast in Maasai community. if somebody is lucky, they can get a piece of bread and tea. But tea is frequently day and night. Tea with milk, no coffee. So tea with milk, we cook tea with tea leaf, Africa tea, Maasai tea with milk and sugar. Some few people take tea without sugar. I see here people, they say tea but there's no sugar. So for me it's not tasting like a tea. So in my host family, we have a special tea, Lipton. That's where daily, even evening, and with a lot of milk because we have cow, we don't buy milk. So in my community we cook ugali. Ugali is the food with maize corn. And I'm going several to find a nice or a corn, maize corn, but I did not find as I get in Africa. I get something called Goya.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Goya. Goya is I make for ugali for that. Then you can taste how it is because that's our daily we cook, and with vegetable or yogurt. And yogurt we don't put on the fridge or any chemical. I milk direct to the cow, then I put on the gourd for 3 days. Then I get a fresh yogurt without any chemical. So that's how we make our yogurt. Or even we drink without put sugar because there's no chemical, it's a fresh, direct. And even when a mother gets birth, our young little babies, we give butter direct to the cow or ghee, fresh, there is no any chemical. I boil the milk, then I put on the side, I get the cream, then I put on the side, then I make ghee. There's no any chemical. So our food is fresh. And the women of the Maasai, we love cooking because I see here, oh my goodness, people go to the supermarket, get a ready food, even others to go to McDonald's, get a ready food. In my community, especially the women, the Maasai lady love to cook because we eat fresh things. Even vegetable, we don't eat salad. This is my first time to eat salad. Even for right now, I don't like it. Is when I come here. People eat salad, and the first time when my host gives me salad, I say, I'm not a goat. Because I see goats, they eat green things. For us, we cook and we don't eat salad. When you see that one, that's rice. We mix rice with carrots, onions. So first, when you cook rice, we don't have to separate sometimes. We put together. So we put onion first, then carrots, and that we we put water, we measure the water, then you cook your rice. Then you serve like that. We don't have anything top. That one, the green one is green peas, introduced for, we go to the market because we don't have water. I told you we don't have water. So we go to the market, we buy green peas, then we mix for the meat, carrot and onion. That we can eat with ugali or something called chapati. Chapati is a flat bread with only we mix water, we mix milk, a little salt, and sugar. Then we make your flatbread. We don't have we don't have to bake. Just direct to the fire for the pan. Then you make something good. I make some. This one is called chapati. That. So this is a chapati. I make this morning. I see here when somebody wants to cook, they cook up. After, when I have the guest, within 40 minutes, I done everything. So I wait my guest. So this is all the food from Africa. And for the men, when they slaughter the cow or a goat, we don't must go to the butcher because we don't have butchery around. So men slaughter the goat or the cow. When I give John get a goat, they can slaughter within 40 minutes. Then they separate all the meats because in Maasai, we eat all the part of the animals. Even you eat all the part of the animals, so John can come and say about how they baba the meat from the goat or from the cow. So because we have the meat for the women, we have the meat for the little young girls, we have the meats for little young boys. So in that table, we have different kinds of food. I think 3, 4. We have chapati, we have ugali, we have green kale and cabbage and beef. Beef, I put only onion and carrots. And kales, I put only onions. And cabbage is only onions, cabbage and carrots. And ugali is only corn flour with a little butter. That's our ugali. So, welcome John to talk about the meat, the part of the meat of the men, and after that, be free to test and to cook is very healthy because you get direct from the fire and everything you cook, it's healthy. So, thank you.
This is Cecilia. As men, we really do very little cooking, if any. The only cooking that we do is making barbecue. And it's always done outside the kitchen. So the kitchen and the house belong to the women. So that is why men don't go anywhere closer to the kitchen. Maybe now I'm going to take an opportunity to invite all of you to have a bite and a taste of the different foods that our host family and Cecilia made for you this morning. So welcome and enjoy.
You pay that much for it, you gotta do something with it. Yes, thankfully so. I've been in a privileged position to be able to get a lot of good footage from places that cultural music and artists. So yeah, I'm heavy into the music and culture. From San Francisco. Oh, I'm from Ecuador. Yeah. So my family's from Ecuador. So yeah, I have a South American background. Yeah.
Maybe I should get your information.
Yeah, please. I would love to. Yeah, I have a card if you want. With my cell phone number. My website is being built right now, but I had to take it down before. I'm here. So my number's in there, my cell phone. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, we put some like
Wait with faces. Names I need like 3-4 times and then I get it. Yeah, but faces, I usually get faces right away. Yeah, right, exactly. Yep, same way. So, you too. Thank you so
Did you need it to be louder? Yeah, can you make it louder?
Yeah, because this is my house.
There were chippy old hands, so the end or something like that was just like silly. But at the same time,
Don't put on your bracelet. How you feeling, bud? Jacking up.